Alright guys, welcome back to Crow Outdoors. So today we are fishing at one of our favorite local reservoirs, and we figure it's the summertime, people are getting ready to go fishing, and what better than do a video on how to help you guys catch more fish. Now generally we use these three tips I'm going to give you guys to catch more trout, but we know that they will work with just about any other kind of fish. We've used them in the ocean, we've used them for carp, we've used them for catfish, and make sure you guys comment below how these tips go for you guys with the kind of fish that you guys are fishing for. Tip number one of the three tips I'm about to give you is to use the mountain trout rig. Now we've done videos about this before, but I'm going to show you again. And what it is you have your typical trout fishing pole, right? Not super heavy. And what you have is you have a clear bobber that you fill with water, and you want to fill this all the way with water. Then you have a swivel. You have about 3 or 4 feet of leader, and you have a smaller size treble hook. What you're going to do, what we do for trout, is we put power bait on there as small as we can, usually green, which I'm about to do, and you just chuck it out there and wait, and that works in almost every lake that we go to. Also, if you wanted to use a worm hook, for example, use like shrimp or whatever, that's also works great, and strongly encourage you guys to use that. We have used this since we were kids. Our dad figured this out, and we think it's very effective, and we implore you guys to be able to go out and try this and let us know in the comments below how it works out. That's the end of tip number one. Alright guys, so tip number two is almost the same as tip number three, but just a little bit different. And what it is we call it a fly in a bubble, right? This is super effective, and what it is you're going to get a clear plastic bubble, right? You're going to fill it 3/4 or half the way full. You're going to get a swivel, doesn't really matter what size, and then you're going to have, again, 3 or 4 feet of leader. And then you're going to use a fly. And what you're going to do is this lets you basically fly fish, but in a lake, and you can cast it clear out there because you have the weight from the bubble, and then you just reel it in and you want to change how slow you reel it in. Generally, when you're reeling it in, you want to reel it in pretty slow, but you have to kind of experiment with that with the fish that you're fishing for, because it just depends on them. For trout, we usually use a woolly bugger or a Royal Coachman. That's what I have on here. That usually works pretty good. So I invite you guys to go out and test this out. I've caught carp using this, and I'm pretty sure anything else would probably go after it. Anything that eat a fly. So tip number two, fly and a bubble. Alright guys, so tip number three is you have to be willing to change. Alright? And say you get to a lake and you try a bunch of different things, nothing really works. What we advise you to do in this tip number three is to look around at other people and see who's catching fish. When you see who's catching fish, go over to them and ask them, hey, what are you guys using? Are you using this spinner? Are you using this bait? How much leader do you have? Stuff like that. Yeah, maybe it's going to be a little bit, you're going to be a little nervous or something like that. But if you do it, you'll be able to get the edge and figure out, like, okay, this is what the fish are eating on. This person knows it, and they'll probably be willing to help you out. Most people will probably be like, oh yeah, no, I'm using this, and worst comes to worst, they'll tell you no, and you'll have to figure it out on your own. But that is tip number three, and that is to ask other people for advice and look around to see, and just be observant. Look around and see who else is catching fish and ask them. Alright? This has been a short little video of how to catch more fish and how to catch more fish quick. I promise you that if you do these three things, then you will be able to catch more fish and have more success. We want to hear about what you guys have, like what happened with this, in the comments below, what you guys think of the advice that we give you. And yeah, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe, and thank you for watching Crow Outdoors. Also, make sure to check out this link to see another video about the mountain trout rig where we explain that a little bit more in detail. Thank you so much for watching.